Alright, this video is for Tracy Clark at Razor Radio and anybody else who's interested. This is the KCXL Studio A, which we'll come back to in a minute. Right now, we'll go out and take a virtual tour of everything else. Starting with the lobby front desk. In fact, let's go outside first. I'm going to check the snail mail, so we'll go out and check the mail. Probably a bit early. Well, the mail's right down the street, so while we're waiting for them to show up, let's just go ahead and get a panoramic. Alright, we got the mail. We'll take a walk around the back, Tracy. Let me see what the rest of this place looks like. Since we'll be leaving here in about 1 year to move the whole operation to Independence. There's all this used to be an FM station too, and here is the remnants of it. The microwave tower that transmitted the signal to their transmitter back in Excelsior Springs. Here's our tower. I'll try to give you a close-up of it. I think it'll get close. It's roughly 200 feet in the air. Out of focus too. Alright. Around the building. Back entrance to the transmitter room. More satellite dishes, rabbit's nest, among other things. Now that everybody's gone, I think I'll move my car up. Okay, had to take a big break there, Tracy. Pete Chartel, the owner, calling, checking in. Here's where Bill Kirsten sits when he's here, from 7 to 11 every day except weekends. That's snail mail. Here's all the equipment we use to go out on remotes. Here's where Burns sits. Oh, and here's where I sit. And as you can see, I'm getting another phone call. So we'll answer that and put you on hold. Okay, that was a long phone call, Tracy. Music of your life calling to check on things. More virtual tour. Here's Pete's office locked up. Just show you what that is. Okay, now let's get on back and I'll show you the rest of this place. This is our server room where Kurt's got all the computer servers hooked up and everything. There's really nothing there spectacular you need to see, or me for that matter. But I got to flip the light on in here so I can show you Studio B, where KCTO is going to be as soon as it's finished. We have a lot of storage. Has some old banners here that don't get used anymore. This is an old, just a production board and a production rack, and really none of it gets used anymore. It's just here. Every now and then about a year ago we were trying to get it set up to use it. This is SurferNet, the computer for that. There's a mic stand I brought Pete a year ago. That was in my room. Now, we go here. We flip the lights on in the transmitter room. This is the original KCXL transmitter. Hasn't been used in years, but it can. This is one that Pete bought in an auction, and he's been working on it ever since to get it up and running. It's doing good. Here's all of our satellite receivers where we get all the programming. button I have to throw on Sundays or Saturdays before I leave, so I can flip it for the church broadcast on Sundays. Processor equipment. Look at it, AM stereo exciter, and here it is. Got it working real good. And here's the transmitter and monitors. You can hear it making its noise. But now a little bit less than what we're supposed to, again, because of the heat. Monitor. I'll show you the back of it. It's amazing how this stuff works. Pete's got it wired up a certain way. Here's the baby transmitter that he bought to use when the big one breaks down. We've had to use it a couple of times. It works. Okay, let's go back to the studio. Some leftover copper strapping we used in Cleveland for the TO transmitter site. Very heavy. Alright, these are old carts that we use on Saturdays for J.P. Morgan. And they're all of his sound effects, just to show you a couple of them. Okay. Many of the show hosts here have their own little shelf where they keep stuff. This is where I keep all of the files and things that I use. Music that we use on Saturdays, and production, which I forgot. I got new production music to go through. So I'm going to do that in a minute, right after I show you everything else. EBS, Emergency Broadcasting Alert System. Our studio monitor and our power supply for the board. Printer for the EBS unit. Here's old school Tracy. Reel-to-reel. Laptop, of course. And the rack that we use with one working CD player and a CD recorder at the top, and the audio vault that you remember me showing you before. There's the on-air one, playing the Legal ID at the minute. Going to the news. Oh, and the Catholic stuff's over again. So I'm going to say goodbye to you, and we'll talk online.